Hey everybody, Seth with Everyman Prepping here. How's everybody doing today? We're going to focus on today is Putin's visit to North Korea. In fact, why don't we go ahead and just put this going on in the background so you can kind of see what's going on. We'll let this just play, but this is Kim Jong-il getting ready for Putin to arrive. But we need to focus, Putin's been doing his world tour. He's been going to China and Belarus and Kazakhstan, I think, and hitting a few African leaders coming over. He's basically doing his world tour, getting all his allies, his coalition built together. So when he does what I think is going to happen in Ukraine, a big offensive coming up, because he gave his peace deal, and Ukraine and the West and NATO and everybody, they turned it down. So I think he's going to go forward with something pretty dramatic. He's got to make sure everybody has his back. He has their back. He's talking to. There's him hugging and everything's so friendly with North Korea, because North Korea is sending 5 million artillery shells. So we're going to talk about what's going to go on in their meeting and what I think is going to happen. But it's a pretty big move. It's the first time in 20 years that Putin's been in North Korea. First time with Kim Jong-il as a leader. Putin met his dad, but first time meeting him over there in Europe. They've met before. They went to Russia. A North Korean leader went to Russia and everything. But this is the first time. And there's a lot of pomp and circumstance and getting ready for this. And like I said, it's mainly what I think war planning. What they need to do for the next step. What's going to be on the docket for when Russia goes into Ukraine even further. If NATO's involved, does Kim do something on the Korean Peninsula to make a 2-front war, 3-front war, distractions for the West? I don't know. Well, let's get into it. As you can see, they're greeting each other here, having a great time on the tarmac. This is very open for North Korea to release all this video. It's very, more than we've ever seen. They want to show how much they are welcoming Russia into their country, and show how we got lights, we got everything's going well in North Korea. It's not a poor country. It's not a country that's falling apart. They're displaying all the money, what they have. You can see from the hotel in the background there. So that's what North Korea is putting on right now. In fact, let's go to a few other things really quick here. We're going to start that over. We'll go to this. Here's another video really quick. This is the motorcade going on. We're going down the highway. Some people are saying, wow, they got Russian flags along the highway. They got, pictures of Putin hanging there. This must have been planned for a while. It's not impromptu. Even though it was, it came after he left China, after Putin left China. He said, I'm going to go visit North Korea. It's supposed to be only a couple weeks away. People can't understand. When you're in North Korea and you have control of the entire working populace, you have control of all production in that country. If you want to make some posters and you want to put flags out, that is not a problem. You just make sure you just mandate what you want, and it happens. Whatever that company was working on before, they're not working on it anymore. Now they're making posters of Putin and Russian flags. They're cleaning the streets. They're turning the lights on the way. I mean, look, they're showing how beautiful this city is. It's being put out to the world. So was this only a couple weeks planning? I think so. Like I said, when you're that kind of leader of North Korea and you have that kind of control, you can make stuff happen. You don't have to worry about regulations, schedules, and stuff. You just say it and it happens. So this is the motorcade going on here. Let's see what else we have here. Let's get into this. Why is he going? This is the goal. So Putin put out some goals of his North Korean trip. You hear a lot about trade and things like mutual tourism stuff. We'll read about here in a little bit. I think this is all war planning. It's all war planning, alliance making, and breaking the sanctions. Breaking the Western sanctions is basically what I think is going on. But according to RT here, we say Moscow and Pyongyang will develop their own trade and security agreements, immune from pressures from the West. Basically, just like I said. It says that they will develop alternative trade and mutual settlement mechanisms not controlled by the West, not using U.S. dollars, not using the SWIFT system, jointly oppose illegitimate unilateral restrictions, sanctions from the West, from the United States, and shape the architecture of equal and indivisible security in Eurasia. That's from Putin. Further on, it goes on to say we're going to include academic mobility, tourism. I don't know if they're going to do study abroad. They're going to exchange college students, something like that. Cultural, educational, youth, and sports exchanges. This has always been very timid of North Korea because once their people leave, they have a tendency to not want to come back, but maybe if they're going into Russia, they'll want to come back. If they're opening up, we shall see. But what is missing in a lot of this, you'll notice, is the fact that we're not talking about the military strategies going on. And here we have Fox News saying, Putin touchdown in Pyongyang says the heroic people of North Korea will confront the West with Russia. That, I think, is more valid. They're going to confront the West militarily. And he's just kind of, talking with him about what each side's going to do. What is Korea going to do? Is Korea going to do the dirty work for Russia and China? Russia's going after Ukraine, China going after Taiwan. Now, does North Korea, in exchange for, food, money, development, technology, whatever, do they do the dirty work for those two? Do they set off the nukes, the EMPs, the terrorists, the hacking? Is that going to be North Korea's role? Who knows, but I believe they're talking about it. Like I said, he's been there first time in 2 decades he's been there. And then furthermore, Putin goes on to say, Pyongyang has always been our committed and like-minded supporter, ready to confront the ambition of the collective West to prevent the emergence of a multipolar world based on justice, mutual respect, and sovereignty, in consideration of each other's interests. That's all poking at the West. The United States and their bully pulpit saying, you're going to use the petrodollar. You're going to trade in U.S. dollars. You're going to do what we say. You're going to use the SWIFT system. And this is basically Putin saying, we're not doing that anymore. We're done. BRICS is taken over. We're going to work together outside the U.S. and basically crush the United States. That's basically what's going on here. And I think, you can see more pictures going on. Here's some good picture of, the big, Russian, Korean posters and Putin up there that they all dressed up the whole city for. And like I said, I think the biggest thing that's going to come out of this is military talks. How many supplies is North Korea providing Russia? What attacks will or won't North Korea do, whether it be financial, computer hacking, actual kinetic nuclear attacks? Is the North Korea capable of? What will Russia give them to make sure this happens? And it'll be clouded under the aspects of, this is just for trade and tourism and all that. You're going to see a lot of, I think, Western mainstream media, legacy media, even pundits on the internet saying, look, Kim is fat and North Korea is poor and they can't do anything. They're going to poke fun at this. But this is a big meeting. Russia, superpower. Korea, nuclear power. This isn't nothing. This is something. So we need to keep an eye on it. Put in the comments below what you think this meeting is about. What do you think they got going on? Is this just a nothing burger, or is this going to lead to something more drastic in the future? I kind of favor the latter. Moving on from that, we have this coming out here about NATO. NATO talks to put more nuclear weapons on standby. Why not? Stoltenberg here, as long as nuclear weapons exist, well, they're always going to exist at this point, we will remain a nuclear alliance. No kidding. So we got, Stoltenberg and NATO ramping up nuclear talks. We got Russia just concluding their tactical nuclear drills. This is beyond, I believe, I wasn't alive at the Cuban Missile Crisis, born shortly afterwards. And I know that was a tense time, but you only had a couple of superpowers with nuclear weapons at that point. Russia was quite weak besides that, financially and militarily. Much different story now. And I think the tensions are a lot higher now than they were back then. And along those lines, I also think that, Russia might have dropped something off in Cuba while they stayed there. Those ships are now leaving port, but I got to believe something was dropped off there. All right. And what do we have here? We have Israel. So, they don't want to be outdone. What's coming out now? You see here, first I'll read the title. Israel approves offense in Lebanon. The U.S. is not happy. The IDF has approved the operational plans for an offensive in Lebanon amid rising tensions with Hezbollah. Just today, I didn't have time to put the photos here, but Hezbollah flew a drone over Haifa and some of the port areas and the military bases in northern Israel. Beautiful 4K photos. They live streamed video of sensitive military sites. Went undetected. Israeli air defense didn't detect them. Hezbollah's got a lot of tech, a lot of weapons. Israel says we got to go in there and take it out. Another reason Israel is going to want to do that is, it's just coming out. Just Jerusalem Post just had an article today saying Israel knew about the October 7th attacks, probably a couple of weeks in advance. They knew what the plan was, to kidnap people, to attack the southern border. Why was most of the military off that weekend? Why was that border barely guarded on October 7th? You know, why was there a pullback? So that's all coming out. They're saying they have emails saying that it was done on purpose, that the attack happened on purpose. It was a false flag. They let it happen kind of event. So with all that coming out, Netanyahu is in trouble. So what's he got to do? He's got to attack Lebanon. He's got to go after Lebanon. He's got to shift the focus. He might as well go straight for Iran at this point, because there's going to be a world of hurt coming for him. So he has to distract the people, and he's probably going to start a full-on war with Hezbollah. Otherwise, he's basically finished. So that's coming soon. Like I said, things are happening so fast. You got to keep up. 12 hours, something else will happen. That's just the world we live in these days. Let's switch to some hometown stuff here before we end the video for you guys. And that's Nvidia, you know, the chip maker. They make graphic cards, they make chips for mining Bitcoin, and they're getting into AI chips. Well, they just passed Microsoft to become the most valuable public company, over a $3 trillion market cap. So it was Apple, then Microsoft, then Nvidia, but now Nvidia's taken over. So a chip making company who gets all their stuff, or let's say all, but I think it's like 90% of their stuff from Taiwan, by the way. You know, the chip companies over there, TSMC. They are now the most valuable company in the world. And if this doesn't signal the top, just like the year 2000 before that crash, if this doesn't signal the top of the market, I don't know what does. Not financial advice, but, you know, with Nvidia at the top, with Microsoft and Apple, one small, hiccup from China and Taiwan, there goes Nvidia. Nothing left of it. So I think we're at a precarious point right now in the financial markets with this happening. So yeah, Nvidia, $3 trillion. It's amazing. It's worth more than most countries out there in the world. So probably at the top of the market. Take it for a grain of salt, whatever you want. Like I said, not financial advice, but I think we've seen the top. If you take the Nvidia out of the S&P 500, the S&P barely has any gains. All the gains this year are Nvidia, propping up the S&P. So keep that in mind. And lastly, I saw this come out today. Another post somewhere I wanted to point out, because they did as well, that there's some free days. You can go to the national parks, and there's free entrance days. And I found one of these very interesting. We have Martin Luther King's birthday. Oh, okay, we can go to the park. But look at this, June 19th. We got the Juneteenth National Independence Day. National Independence Day. Not 4th of July, but Juneteenth. By the way, you'll notice 4th of July is not on this list. The actual Independence Day for our country, can't go to the park for free. But on June 19th, you can. They have National Parks Week. That makes sense. They have Great American Outdoors Act. Okay, that's cool. National Public Lands Day, yeah. And finally, they got Veterans Day. So, hey, we got Veterans Day. You can go for free, but celebrating the independence of our country? No, but Juneteenth, yes. So just wanted to point that out. Love to hear your comments on what you think about this, that we have the National Juneteenth Independence Day as a free day, but not the 4th of July. Since, 4th of July coming up soon, I found this quite, disheartening, actually. But love to hear your comments on it. That's all I have for right now. See what happens later in the next couple weeks. Let's see. I want to really curious to see what happens with this North Korea-Russian, not really a summit or meeting. North Korea's being very open with their video and everything. It'd be great to see what speeches they give. What do they say? Can we get anything out of any press conference they have about what the future plans are? How does China get into this? Do they say, is there going to be any trilateral agreements going on? Who knows? But I think that's our next thing to watch. And also the Hezbollah, Israel. With Hezbollah flying those drones over there and filming military sites, that's great for targeting. Great for, send those missiles up that, Hezbollah claims they got like 1 million missiles over there. They got plenty to go. So Netanyahu and his clan are in trouble. He got rid of his war council, committee, whatever. He just fired everybody. So big things are going to happen there as well. So I didn't even talk about any of the bird flu, this and that happening, food and all that. That's always going on as well. But if you want me to cover any stories, you want me to hit anything, just put it in the comments below. And until next time, keep your ear to the ground, head on a swivel.